Good evening from the Pacific Northwest. It is April 13th. It's a Saturday. And I'm your host, Greg, better known as eeFoGee on Steam. And you're watching the Weekly Factor here on Factor of Games. Thank you, folks, for stopping in. Those of you who have made it, I appreciate you hanging out. We had a little bit of a delay, as always. Streamlabs, unfortunately I was gone for the week. I was working down in Las Vegas, and Streamlabs put out one of the only updates I've ever seen. I've never seen Streamlabs do an update, and as long as I've used it, I don't know, maybe that's only been half a year or whatever, and they did this completely forced update. You couldn't do anything, you had to sit through it. It took forever. It was like 30 minutes that I didn't plan for, 40 minutes, and yeah, didn't really make me that happy, but it happened. But I do appreciate everybody that stayed around to hang out and watch the show. Let's just say that. So we are not going to delay much longer. I'm actually going to cut this music down a little bit here, or at least turn it down. But we've got a couple things going on this week, or well, this past week. I'll just do a recap. I was down in Vegas doing worked for a company down there. I actually gave my notice this week, so I'm actually working back for myself again, which is good, and I'm happy about that. But yeah, I was down there, ended up doing that, came back, got a little bit of things to go through, and I'll talk about that, as we go into the stream. But the one thing that I did, and I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, I've never done this myself. I always thought I was pretty good about remembering my stuff at the airport when you got to go through the security, checkout and all that, or check in, whatever it is. And I had taken my Oculus 3 headset down to do some recording for some videos. We do that here. I get developers sending, builds in, and got to take a look at it, and I do the recording. And how I record them is through the phone. You can basically capture everything that's going on the headset as long as you're within range on your phone. And that's like a nice, whatever, 1080p, or I forget what the phone records it in. It's pretty high. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that because I've got nights where I won't be doing much. And I did, right? Well, I had the headset in the case that it comes. I had it in my bag. And of course, I don't check bags. So I put it in the conveyor belt, and they said, nope, you got to take your headset out. So I took the headset out, took my other device out. I think it was the Legion Go I had with me because I was doing some stuff on that. And I get through the line, I grab the Legion Go. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't grab the headset, the Oculus. And I was it was like 2 hours I'm in the airport because I was there very early. I had dinner there, and I get on the plane, and I'm halfway on the plane from like Vegas to Everett, Washington, which is close to Seattle, if you don't know. And I'm thinking, boy, I don't remember grabbing that Oculus headset, because I was thinking, oh, I got to edit those videos. And it made me start to think, and I'm like, I couldn't have forgot that. That's too expensive. Or that's something I wouldn't forget. I'm on the plane, and it bothers me enough, and I get up, stand up in the middle of the flight. I'm grabbing my bag, my carry-on out of the little cubby or whatever they are, the luggage holders. And I'm looking through it. I'm like, I didn't grab it. So left that Oculus 3 headset in Las Vegas at the airport. And I was like, what can you do? You shouldn't, I wasn't going to sit there and worry about it. It's gone, right? Somebody's going to take it, right? So I get on there, and I'm like wiping the information, because you can remotely wipe Oculus headsets. You can't really lock them. I don't think there's a way to lock them so that anybody could have got in and got some information, but you can, wipe them remotely. So the first time it turns on, it gets put on a Wi-Fi, it's going to wipe it. So I did that. And then I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe Las Vegas airport has like, is it McCarran, I think, has like some kind of lost and found. So I go in, yes, they have that. So I fill out all the information. Luckily, the Oculus app has my serial number. I put all that in, I get done with it. I'm like, okay, that's the last I'll ever see of this thing, but I did my best. And unbeknownst to me, on Saturday, this was Thursday night, Saturday morning, I get an email saying, hey, we found your headset, and where do you want it shipped? So I'm like, great, that's amazing. I never thought it would happen. I was blown away. and had to pay $35 or something like that for it to ship. But hopefully it's here on Monday. But yeah, that was my story for the week. I didn't think that would ever happen. Like, I never thought that would happen, either in the fact that I would never lose it and the fact that I would ever get it back. But hopefully it'll all be there, and those good Samaritans that work at the airport, they deserve a round of applause. Yeah, I was bothered by that because I'm like, oh my God, that's so expensive just to lose. And I needed to, I always have to record stuff. So I was like, well, I don't really want to go buy it. After I quit a job, right? That wasn't really the best thing. So no good deed, I guess, or no effort goes unpunished. I don't forget how that thing goes. Or how it would make sense for this. I know it's like no good deed goes unpunished, but I don't know if it was a good deed to quit, but I did. And now I'm back doing my thing. So let's jump into what we did this week, though. We still ran the polls, even though I was down there. And let's see, which device? We'll use the Steam Deck to take a look at the games that won. So as you can guess, I'm going to turn this music off. The polls went out. We got all those out. And everybody voted on it, so thank you again. If you don't already know, you can follow the channel or subscribe to it on YouTube or Twitch. We're on X. We're on Facebook. You can find us there. Find me there. And you can also find me on, what's the other platform? LinkedIn, funny enough. So LinkedIn, so all 5 of those, you can subscribe, follow, do all that stuff. And on YouTube, so you always have to go back to YouTube. Go back to YouTube and subscribe there. You'll get notified. Make sure the bell's checked. You'll get notified when the poll goes up. Every day there's a poll. It goes up at like 6 a.m. every day Pacific time. You vote on the games, and these are the games that won this week. So you guys tell me what I show on this show here that's weekly, Saturdays at 7, normally. And the first one, The Sinking City, it's on sale. So I can always kind of determine, like when I put a game up against like 3 other games, so there's 4 on each poll, I can usually determine if the game's on sale, it's going to be a little bit more interesting. I'm going to shut my air off here. I forgot it was on. It can be a little bit more interesting for people because they want to see if it actually will run on the Steam Deck or the Legion Go. So you can kind of get an idea, when somebody's, or what people are going to vote for, or what might win. So the Sinking City's on sale. It's $9.99. It won. So we're going to go through that. We've got Helldivers, the original Helldivers. This isn't Helldivers 2. This is the original Helldivers. And this is the, Dive Hard edition. It's not on sale as far as I know, but it's, still got some interest because of the other game that's out now, number 2. What else do we have? We have Callisto Protocol. This one I don't think is on sale. Not to my knowledge. It's on sale. Dota 2 is always free. This actually went up against Call of Duty. They tied. But the unfortunate thing is Call of Duty Warzone, this isn't Call of Duty regular, this is Call of Duty Warzone, does not run on either devices. I could not get it running on the Legion Go for something. I always can kind of default to that because it's a Windows machine, but I couldn't get Call of Duty Warzone to run on Legion Go or on the Steam Deck, which was weird. So we're going to do Dota 2 because it was a tie, and just because Dota 2 runs. So we're going to run that on there. And then System Shock is the other one. That game is also on sale. It's like $17.99 over on Steam. And all the links are below for the games that you see here, the ones that won. So you can find those easily. And if they're from Humble, they support the channel when you buy them. So you just pay normal prices or the sale price or whatever, and the channel gets money from the sale of that game. It's a partner. Humble is a partner of Factor of Games and has been for quite a few years. I think it's been 7 years, something like that, because it was when I was on Twitch as well, which we're on Twitch, but a long time ago I started on Twitch. So, and then the game that I chose this week is actually one I had looked at, already did a real view video for, which is Devil Within, Satgat. This is kind of like a platformer, like I wouldn't say I'd say it's more like a Dead Souls, right? In that sense, like a side-scrolling platformer in that way. So roguelike. So that is the game that I'm choosing to show. So we usually show 6. We have 5 days of voting. 5 games win out of that, and then I picked just a game that came out this week. Devil Within the Sad God, that one I believe just went full release. It was maybe early access previously when we had originally looked at it. So that's enough of the explanations. Oh, the other thing, if you don't know, the channel hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you very much. That's a huge, huge number, right? I remember when I started doing this, I'm like, man, 10, it's taking forever to get 10 subscribers. Wow. It's going to take forever to get 100. Then I got 100. And I'm like, it's going to take forever to get 1,000. At the time, that was what you needed to monetize and all that stuff. And I'm like, 1,000 will take forever. And now we've hit 10,000. It actually didn't take that long at all. Took about a year at the most. And now the number's 100,000, right? I just want 100,000 because I want a plaque. That's what everybody can do for me, right? Help me get 100,000 so I can get a plaque. But that's how it goes, right? It's just milestones, put the effort in, milestone, put the effort in kind of thing. And it's been really fun. It's been so entertaining to do this, and love all the comments of people that are happy that they've gotten to see games shown and that they work and all of that stuff. It makes me feel like it's worthwhile. And this is something now that I'm unemployed again, or well, I have my own thing that I'm doing, company that I started when I first was let go from a company a year and 3 months ago or 4 months ago. I started my own company, and it's been focused on social media. So I've got, some potential clients that are going to start up again. You try to figure out as many ways as you can make money as possible to keep going. And I've got some of that in hand, and YouTube helps. So I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into the channel and trying to do things that we hadn't done. There's going to be more live streaming. This show will continue on, but obviously now I have the chance to look at other opportunities. I'm looking at doing editing for some channels, so that'll help pay some bills. And that's, that'll be that. So more YouTube stuff will happen for forever, because I'm done working any other job. I don't think I'll get too many more opportunities. We'll see. I don't know. Let's see. And it's something I want to do. So this is where I'm at. So let's jump in, and I think we can just start with Sinking City, right? That one, it's again, not like a heavy game to run on any of these systems. I'm just going to grab my controller here, get it going. But it's got some interesting stuff. So it's Cthulhu themed. It's more along the lines of, it's from Frog. It's the company that did Frogwares, I think it is. So they've done like the Sherlock Holmes games. So a little bit different there in terms of like the pacing. It's not like super actiony. It's more like a mystery, and you're going through and trying to figure out like, hey, well, what happened here? Or how do I do this? Or how do I get this thing? Right. That's kind of more, or how do I get to the next opening? Or how do I figure something out? There's a lot of dialogue and stuff like that. So that's in how you deal with the other CPUs on the other end and stuff like that. So interesting game. I love the Cthulhu theming. I'm a big fan of that stuff. Remnant 2's a little bit of Cthulhu. What other games have we looked at recently that were Cthulhu driven? I can't think of all of them off the top of my head. We usually have, a few over a period of time. And, Alone in the Dark, the most recent Alone in the Dark that just came out, that actually was a kind of Cthulhu-esque or Lovecraftian. Sorry, I say Cthulhu. I mix and match those two, but it was Lovecraftian in that sense. Let's see, what's the audio look like? I think the audio is good on the game. We're just going to run with it. So this game, if I remember correctly, it does have, so if we go into video, no, this one does not. It does not have a Steam setting. So you kind of have to make some adjustments. I believe this has held on to the ones that I originally had used. So for the real view video, because there's a real view video of this running on, I believe, both the Steam Deck and the Legion Go. But I might have to go back into my own archives and make sure that's correct. Can't always remember. After you've done 1,200 videos for Steam Deck and other devices, it's tough to say you remember all of them. But we can get an idea here. So again, if you're new, and I can see there's more folks here today, in the live view kind of stuff I can see. If you're new here, I go through each device, so the game gets played on each device, and the Steam Deck, which is the OLED Steam Deck, is played at 720 since we're doing a 16:9 ratio, and the Legion Go is done in a 1080p layout since it's 16:9. Now both devices, if you play on them, and you don't know if you play on the actual devices themselves, they are in a 16:10 ratio. So they would be like respectively 1280x800 on the Steam Deck and 1920x1600, but on the Legion Go, but it can actually go up to 2560x1600. And it can even do the 1280x800p resolution. So that's a little information on both devices, but we're on the Steam Deck right now. You can tell by the performance bar at the top. We're doing 720, and we're going to go with like a low medium, mostly low setting, and we'll see how the actual like performance is for the game. Now, I've probably restarted this game way too many times. I do that with a lot of games because you want to kind of get like the middle, the end, all that stuff. Everybody wants to see something, right? Like they want to see like, hey, I only want to see the beginning of the game, the middle of the game, the end of the game. I want to know how it performs the whole way through. I'm one person. I can't do all of it. I try. I reset things based upon comments and, you know, going through, but it's not always possible to show every aspect of a game. Unfortunately, unfortunately, on Alone in the Dark, I've played through that game completely and recorded the whole thing. It's going up chapter by chapter, which is only 5 chapters, but it was run on the 4090 big gaming PC that I had. So it's like, you know, done in HDR and in 4K, 60 frames per second. So it's the best that I could have done. But the problem with that is YouTube, when you upload something and you put it in HDR, which is really like, you know, to kind of showcase like the best parts of like the lighting effects and stuff like that, it is super hard to get those to be recognized on YouTube in a timely fashion, or by YouTube in a timely fashion in HDR, because you'll see an indicator in your settings that says, hey, this video's HDR, or in my case, I put it in the title as well, but you really want to say that in the settings, then you know it's working. But for that to go into settings, it can take up to like a week, and I've released chapter 1 and 2, and it's completely in HDR. I have chapter 3, 4, and 5 already uploaded, and funny enough, chapter 5 was the last one, and it's fully recognized it's HDR compliant or whatever, but I can't release it until I release 3 and 4, and those two haven't been, they haven't went through YouTube's process to be able to showcase it as, you know, basically HDR. So I'm waiting on that to happen, so then I can release 3 and then 4 and then 5. So, but yeah, that's kind of something else going on the channel. Now, what you're seeing here, right, on the low settings is kind of the effect around his like neck, his coat, something with fur on it usually has this hair. And this is usually to essentially like the upscaling method. So let's take a look here and see if we can improve that any way possible. Which resolution quality, if we move that up. Now this is not using FSR or anything like that. So given that it's not going to be technically amazing, we'll move it all the way up and then we'll move it all the way down. Just to kind of see, right? You can't kind of judge it. I mean, it's still got a little bit, not as bad. You can kind of see it's cleaned up a little bit, but it still looks like a screen door on the back of his neck. So what we can do again, now let's go in and I think it might be under the, what is it? It's going to be the modeling, the models. View distance is low. Anti-aliasing. There we go. We can up that. Post-processing, we can up that. Textures is where it is. Textures is going to be the other one. So let's move that to medium. Let's move that to medium. Let's see if that's going to benefit us here. Okay, it's cleaned up a lot more now. Maybe still just slightly there, but we're still at 60 frames per second. Again, this isn't a super demanding game, but it does have its, you know, its own design and all that stuff, and it'll take a little bit for us to get it dialed in here. This is just the gun. Let's see. I think we can take that, right? I thought we were supposed to take that. Up, up, up. There it is.
Hope I never have to use it.
There it is. We had to find the exact thing that it needed to show. All right, now he's got the gun. We'll do our little reading. Check in here, a couple supplies. But again, this is, while it's a kind of third-person perspective, it's not a super action game. But we'll work our way out here. We'll say hello.
Get out.
Guy's telling me to get out. There we go. And this is a lot of what you get in the game, is more like these kind of conversations where you go through, you talk, you get a little bit of the story. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit, and then you get some dialogue options, right? So here they are. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But yeah, you can go through and get a little bit more information. Again, you are a detective in a way, or this guy's a detective, but you're trying to find the clues, and it works very similar to the Sherlock Holmes games that Frogwares designs as well. They did greenlight this game to actually do a second, The Sinking City 2, I guess it would be. So that's kind of interesting that they've gotten that. You know, from some of the aspects, or some of the feedback, right, on the game it was kind of surprising that they actually greenlit it for a second one, but it's not really that surprising if you've worked with these types of games before.
Tell me about this flood.
They do, you know, they have their audience for sure. That's definitely something that I think you can say about the Frogwares games. They maybe pull in demographics are a little bit different than like more action shooters, right? Obviously there's a little bit difference there, so yeah, they have an audience for it. It's not that surprising they got it, but because the Sherlock Holmes games, they actually continue to pump those out at a pretty good pace. We'll get through this and we'll just work our way up the road here. We're going to run into another character. Let's just pass through all of this. Okay, goodbye. There we go. You do get a chance to kind of roam around, but you're not in a sandbox, right? You can't just go do anything. You have your path that you've got to kind of work through. But if you're into these games, and I think it's $9.99 is what they're asking for the game right now, they're not a bad little game to toy around with. This one runs pretty well. Again, on the Steam Deck, we're getting 60 frames per second, but you know, a lot of it is not going to be super actiony.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator.
Like I have to sneeze again.
From Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Given that it's Lovecraft and it's, you know, kind of Cthulhu-esque, you get the different characters. Some look like some fish, some looks like some apes, you know, kind of thing.
Please forgive the question.
It's just going to be a little creepy, right? So you can kind of see, though, I mean, the game itself, we'll try to bust through all of this and get a little bit of the kind of like the story mode, or not the story mode, but more of the how you hunt for evidence mode. I wanted the Albie going. Okay, there we go. So let's go down here. I think we got to find something in the lifeboat, or we're going to investigate the lifeboat. And this is where you get into a little bit different mechanics rather than just talking to people, right? It's not going to be much, though. This one, find some information. It's a will. What are these folks doing? They're just kind of hanging in the water. And then we'll go into the actual house, and you can do your investigation mode. Oops. I guess I gotta go... Wait a second. I can't get up here. What's going on? There we go. We'll run back up to Mr. Thogmorton. Is that what his name was? I think it was, yeah, something like that. He's a rich guy in town. And we'll talk to him. Here's your son's will.
Give it to me.
Just go through this. Now we'll go into the building. So now we get a chance to kind of go in, see a little bit of like what it is to do the investigation. So we've got our flashlight. You can look around the room. You can find some evidence. You can start digging around for stuff. But again, the game's held pretty steady and looks pretty good. On the, you know, the Steam Deck itself with the actual screen, it's gonna look pretty solid. You're not gonna notice as much of the, you know, maybe the fringing around the fur or around his headline, you know, kind of there. You're not going to see that as much on the screen of the Steam Deck as you do here. This is like whatever you're watching on is kind of a little bit bigger, maybe except for on a mobile phone, right? And I'm only running this in, you know, 720p, which the signal's being brought down a little bit, and I'm streaming it, so it's not going to be as high quality as it's going to be on the Steam Deck itself. So another person we can chit-chat with. Let's see, we can go in. We do have a gun, so we can, you know, kind of shoot. There is a little bit of that. But it's not going to be, you can swing and fight a little bit. It's not the most, I don't know, not the best combat. But there is some combat. Got some information here. We can look at like different items, but essentially we're just going through, we're finding more about the case. And, you know, it's more of the same. There's not going to be too much crazy performance issues. It's going to run very, very similar as you get into the game. There's the dead body. You can learn a little bit about that.
The poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Your guy has his voice dialogue, which is good.
There was a fierce
Get a little bit more
fight
information here.
Someone tried to flee.
Yeah, it's nice. So let's do this. Let's jump over to the Legion Go now. Take a look at that. We'll run the exact same game. So we were getting, you know, roughly around 60, 59 frames per second with the settings on. Let's just verify these. Settings were medium, roughly. A little bit low, but medium mostly. And we got rid of that. I mean, if we were, let's just do this. If we were to jump it up to high, we don't have to worry about shadows. We could actually leave shadows at medium. Post-processing high, you know, right about there. Let's see if we can clear up that neckline. Yeah, so there's no screen door effect really at all now. The fur looks normal. All of that. We're still at 60, but you can see it dips. It's like 60, 59. It went down to 49. Medium would be the way to go if you don't want it to dip at all. But it's just slightly, I mean, you could play at 60. You could actually, what you could do is limit it to 40 frames per second on the Steam Deck, and you would conserve battery and you know, have a really good experience, I think. Because it's, again, not super fast action, but let's jump out of here. We'll close out of this because we can't run both at the same time. Give me 1 second. We'll switch over to the Legion Go. There we go. And let me fire up the same game over here. We'll get a better idea. Now, the Legion Go is going to be at 1080p. Again, we had said that. Oops, there I am. So 1080p. And we're probably going to be able to run it at 60 with basically everything set to high. That would be my guess. It's got a little bit more power to work with. There's Frogwares. They make, like I said, make good content. I like their games. They're nice. The Sherlock Holmes ones are always interesting. They've done a really good job with updating that, and I would imagine that their Sinking City 2 is going to be based off the most recent Sherlock Holmes release, which came after this Sinking City, the original Sinking City. A little bit of coffee. These later nights, I don't know, not tired, but just later nights. Let's see. We can take a look at the settings here. Our video. So 1920 by 1080. We're going to do, I mean, might as well try Ultra. We'll see what it does. It's the resolution scaling is all the way up, so we can give that a run. And I'm not quite sure where I'm at in the game. It could be just taking the game that we were just playing. I could be a little bit further in this one. I know at one point I was recording some footage and I had an actual save within the town, further into the harbor town that we're in. But I'm not 100% sure if this is that save or not. No, very close to it. It's basically where we left off. So you can see Ultra, 1080p, not getting 60 frames per second. We're kind of in that 40-ish, 50 frames per second range. So you could just say, and even the Legion Go now has that ability to actually lock it to a certain frame rate. So you could do the same thing. You could lock the device to 40 frames per second and, be able to play it. On Ultra settings, I don't know if it would hold it all the way through because they were dipping down to 39. Like I said, my guess is probably high settings is where we'll be able to lock it in at 40 and not have to worry about it. But did I get, yeah, I got the will here. It must have saved right after I was done with Throgmorton or whatever his name is. There we go. Now I don't remember if you have an actual, you don't have a jump mechanic. What that is when he jumped up there is just, I was pushing in the area where he can step up and he makes that jump. Ooh, there was some frame rate drop. Wow. That was some stutter. Let's just do this. Let's go in and drop this down to high across the board. Not epic, not ultra. I love that. Low, medium, high, epic, ultra. Whatever happened to just low, medium, high? And that was it. We'll drop everything down to high. Okay, let's try this. Let's see where we get to. This is where I thought we would be okay to do like the 40 frames per second, like if you wanted to lock it to that. So, I don't know. Let's see if it's any better in the house. Which it does seem to be. I mean, you're going to be looking at walls and stuff. You're not having to do the draw distance. 50s, 55. A little bit, right? A little bit of drops into the 50s, but I think you're probably going to be safe to go 1080p and just drop it to 40 frames per second. Kind of lock it in there. Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, outside it was pretty good. Devices, whenever we're looking at like, what is that? Evidence, things like that we don't have to worry about the drop in the frame rate or anything like that. So we can drop right out of here. Let's walk up the street just a bit. We might be able to bypass this. I know that there's a bar up here we can go into, and then I'm not sure if we can get to the other part of the city. It might lock us into this area. Yeah, it doesn't really look like much of a city or like anything's going on because it's just junk. But there's actually things. Yeah, these police stop us. Can't go that way. Can we go in the bar? The Underkeel bar. Yes, we can. So a little bit more going on in here. Not much, but looks just fine. Yeah, the nice thing with the Legion Go is it does have a little bit of extra power to just kind of knock things like this out. Oh, we can't get in there. But yeah, this is kind of your performance that you're looking at. So let's not belabor this game any longer. We'll move on to the next one, and we'll take a look and see how, I don't know, which game should we go with next? Let's go over here. We'll go back to the Steam Deck, and let's take a look and see what we can find. So we could go down the line, but let's do Dota 2. Now, I'm not going to go online, and well, you're going to be online anyhow in this game, but I'm not going to try to play somebody online because we run into issues with Starlink and the stream going on. So I'm just going to take a look at the game kind of running on the device in like a tutorial mode, but you can play online. It plays just fine. I think the one thing that they do call out is like text is small. So that's why it's not like 100% verified. It's playable. I think if they had the ability to go in and adjust the text, then, you know, you'd be okay. Now, the artifacts that you're seeing here, I've seen this before as well. I'm going to switch and we're going to play with mouse and keyboard. And whenever I go into settings and just kind of poke around a little bit, it seems to get rid of that, what it has in the past. So let's just see if it does it again. So for settings, in the advanced one, we'll just show those 16:9 ratio, 1280 by 720. It's running Vulkan. And we are just using the normal rendering. We're not messing with advanced features. We have it just as best looking. So it's giving you the best picture. And let's try to jump out and see if that's fixed this now. Yeah, you can see all the artifacts are gone. Whenever you jump into settings the first time, it just kind of fixes itself. And sometimes it can be the bow's string is kind of screwed up. Sometimes it can be the character's like hood is a little weird. But you saw the artifacts in more like the sky this time. So I don't know what that is. Probably Vulkan. But you never know. So let's just jump into Learn. And this is an easy way. I don't want to get in, like start a match and screw somebody up or anything like that. So plus, again, uploading, well, streaming and then trying to play a game online, just everything falls apart with Starlink. So here we go. We're kind of running at about 90-ish frames per second.
Yes.
I think we can get up to about 100 in certain instances, depending upon how close we're zoomed in and stuff like that. So that's our ancient. Always start spending your gold. Let's go up here. And again, we're just doing a tutorial because I don't want to attempt to try to go and play somebody online and, you know, screw the stream up or anything like that. Let's see. We're going to do some testing, though, this week, since, again, not working as much. Or I'm still finishing out like 2 weeks with the company, but going to be, you know, really focused on doing more streaming, stuff like that. We're going to do some testing. We're going to get this figured out. Can we stream at 1080p? At what times of the day? Because, again, Starlink has a little bit of issue at certain points of the day, stuff like that. Let's keep going down here. So, yeah, we're in the hundreds of frames per second. If we zoom in a little bit further, we can kind of lock that into like 100 frames per second or more. Come on, cat. Keep running up here. If you zoom out, you're probably going to lose some of those frames just because you've got you get to see more within the viewable area at any one time, and it's having to render trees or whatever it is, grass, butterflies. Could be a list of anything. Enemies, right? We'll change that as well. Let's just kind of scoot into here. But yeah, you can see, I mean, you're not going to have an issue running the game. That's for sure. The game runs positive. It's a positive experience, runs just fine. You've got Valve. Yes. This is their game, so they support it, right, in that sense. And yeah, you get pretty good performance out of it. So I think we can probably jump into the Legion Go just to take a look. There's a merchant, right? Shopping for victory. I don't need anything though.
The night sees
Right
all.
now. Can I get
Us.
into an area? There we go. Something to mess with.
I would water a tree.
I'm gonna move through. Let me get out of here. It's
I'm under
killing me.
attack.
Oof. That was rough.
Let's go.
Okay. But we can go ahead, jump over to the Legion Go, get an idea about it on there. These games, I wasn't too surprised, about either one of them. Not really demanding. The ones that are going to be demanding are more or less the Callisto Protocol. System shock a little bit. Let's just say that. I don't think it's going to be super crazy. Right. But you never know. So let's bounce out of here. And I'm probably just going to do it this way. We'll jump over to the Legion Go. And we'll jump into Dota 2 over here. And I'll probably use the mouse and keyboard again. I have it kind of set up just to be able to like flick a switch or two and we're ready to go. So let's jump in. This is Windows. Again, if anybody doesn't know, Legion Go runs on Windows. Steam OS runs on, or Steam Deck runs on Steam OS, which is a version of Linux, a custom version. So that is kind of the difference. Most games will always run. Again, like I said, the Warzone game, I was going to try and show it. I thought for sure it was going to run on the Legion Go. It does not start up. I think you could probably get it started up if you were to drop into just the desktop mode, and you would then be able to like start up the game. I could be wrong though. For some reason, it may not like the AMD driver, the AMD integrated chipset. So where you have kind of your graphics and your CPU kind of sitting on the same chipset. Both of these devices run on AMD. The thing that holds the Steam Deck back, if you don't know, is the lack of support for some of the anti-cheat tools. They tend to not like Linux, so they throw a fit and you have trouble with them. But in most cases, there's a workaround, or they remove that for those devices so you can actually play them. So you don't notice the artifacting or anything like that here. I think we're at 1080p. Let's just go in and check. Yeah, 1080p, 60 hertz, 16 by 9. I'm just going to apply it again just to make sure it takes. So give it a second. It'll come back here in a minute. There we go. Because it looked a little blurry, so I think it was like a 1280 by 720. We're going to be using like DirectX. We could use Vulkan, but we'll just do DirectX on this one. Best looking, so basically utilizing everything that you've got. And we can jump out of here and we can jump into kind of the tutorial area. We'll just go through the exact same area. Again, not trying to play. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. I clicked on the wrong item. I'm supposed to click at the top. So let me get back to where we need to be. It'll take 1 sec, and we'll go up to learn right here, because you can learn, watch, do all that stuff. We're going to do learn. We're going to go back in the same exact tutorial. The only reason we're doing the tutorial again, if you're just tuning in, is because when I try to stream and play online, it can run into an issue with Starlink. So that is the major concern. In a general sense, graphic wise, it's not going to have impact or anything like that.
The night sees
So
all.
you can see we're at 1080p here on this device, and we're zoomed as far as we can be, running at best rendering and all that stuff. So I would say ultra settings, and we're getting about 100 frames per second, which is a little bit north of what the Steam Deck Oled was getting at 720p. But if we zoom in on our character, we'll probably be close to locking in. Yeah. So I think we'll be close to locking it into 100. It's a little bit better. Oh, there's 98. Just slight drop. But I think the majority of the time, you're probably going to be in those 90s at the lowest on these settings because of the enemies on screen and things like that you can get.
Good plan.
But yeah, it does look pretty good. I think we can zoom around. Can we? Maybe not.
Yes.
It's been a while since I played Dota. Or Dota 2, so I can't remember if there's a key button combination to be able to like swing the camera around,
Yes.
or if you're always stuck in this position. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, it's trying to kill me. Man, that thing's got like homing missiles. That hit me like, and I was turning the corner.
Far the night.
But yeah, again, not a problem here. You can start up a match, you can see the queue, stuff like that. So you're going to be just fine on Dota 2 playing it on either device. And we can jump in to the next game. I don't think there's going to be a reason to, like I said, belabor the fact that the game runs just fine. So let's go ahead and jump out if I can. There we go. Dota 2 was a good success. And I can show you, I mean, just out of curiosity, if you want to see it for yourself. But yeah, for some reason, if I go in to choose, like, this is Call of Duty Warzone, there's nothing that you have to change or anything like this. It should just fire up, but we'll just go ahead and try to give it a shot. I did reset the device. Maybe that's what it took. I don't think so, but who knows? I hate to say one thing definitively, and then it doesn't actually work out. But what it should do is just crash. Well, now it's going to start. Maybe. Nope. It just crashed right back to the to here. Now, if we were to go in, and I have the mouse and keyboard, and this is not something we normally kind of showcase here, but if I was to say, like, okay, we desperately need to play this on there, is there any way we can do it? If we shut down big picture mode, and let's close this guy here. Oops. This opens up like desktop mode for Steam and that stuff. Let's get rid of EA. And let's go ahead and... Oh, I can't even try it on here because... no, I can. I was thinking I couldn't even try it because I don't have it installed. It is the same device. We'll go ahead and check it out. See if we can do this. From desktop mode. It's possible. I have seen it before. Usually this is something more just slated for the Steam Deck itself. But you can see it just couldn't get past that, potentially, that anti-cheat firing up that ricochet. Let's see if it'll load now. Again, why I didn't show the game was it tied with Dota 2, and I knew I could get Dota 2 running just fine. Let's go ahead and jump in. Or it's probably trying to load something now. It did load this up, though, so this is positive for at least the Steam Deck. Or, sorry, the Legion Go, not the Steam Deck. Steam Deck, it's probably not going to be able to run it because of the anti-cheat that they use, that ricochet. It's going to stop it from being able to jump onto the servers. Here, it's a Windows machine experience, so we're going to be able to get on there just fine. Daywar, Treyarch. I must be in a loading screen of some sort. Or a shader compiling. You know, all this stuff is here so it can compile the shaders in the background. So it's going to show us like every single logo that they have to be able to do this. I don't want that coffee to go flying, so I try to set it away from things that move, and the arm for the microphone is one of those things that move. I can't get it. I can't get it out of here. Let's see. We did have mouse and keyboard. Let's just drag here. Accept. Drag here. Not reading any of it. Accept. And the privacy policy I'll acknowledge. Ugh. What a drag. It's going to say what kind of phones, do that, do that. Graphic preset quality. Let's do performance. There we go. And we'll see if we can't get in. Not now. Oh, an update. Look at this. Jesus. Always updates. That update with the Streamlabs set me off today. I don't know what they were doing with that. Again, it's not a common thing to see Streamlabs update their client so you can stream. So I didn't see anything else from them saying that, hey, you got to get your updates in to be able to play like blah, 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 in terms of, you know, timing and all that stuff. Like you've got to update to be able to do this. And this was one of those things where none of that stuff, it was just a forced update. And you're like, how would I have known to turn it on? Maybe they put it out in a message. I didn't see it. Obviously, I could be wrong, but it's not something that I wanted to do. So here's Call of Duty. Can we get in yet? Skip. Okay, there we go. I just want to be able to play, use the controller, kind of showcase that it does run. I don't want to buy anything. I was trying to sell you something. Sell you some garbage. Okay. Just get us into a battle so we can see. But yeah, this is much further than I got because I was trying to run it with the Steam Deck big picture mode. Are you going to end this? Okay, I've seen everything. No. And do you have just training? I don't want to get in there and like go ranked play and screw somebody's game up. Can't do that. Can't do that. That's locked. That's locked. That's locked. Is everything locked? No. This one's not locked. Okay. I think we're good, right? There we go. Find a match. Oh, can we just do, instead of finding a match, treat everyone with respect? Yes, let's do that. Code of conduct. What is all this? God, can you just play the game? Jesus. Some of it's nuts. Like, this is just like over the top. Oh, you got to do everything. Okay. Just to be able to see it. I was kind of hoping there was just tutorial. Welcome mission? Maybe? Can I do that? I don't think so. So it's wanting to try to connect. And it's screwing up the stream as always, so I'm going to stop that. There's no reason why it won't connect. Let's just say that. We're seeing it, but I wanted to kind of see the performance. I don't want to jump online though, because it's just going to screw up the stream. Challenges. Is there anything else that I can do? The lobby. Find a party, welcome missions. But why can't I do this? So weird. Okay, we'll try to start. It's trying to connect us in. I don't know. We should be muted. I don't want to screw anybody up there. We'll go in, we'll try it. It will not work on the Steam Deck, so we're not going to attempt that. But we can kind of see what the performance is going to be like here. And we're cruising along. I mean, a couple of the games, we didn't really have to go as in depth. There was no really new game this week. Usually we do like a big new game. The votes, tend to bring up like, I don't know, 100, 200, somewhere in between there, hundreds of votes. But there wasn't really a release this week that was a big release, so we didn't have that. It's not like we had to show 6 games plus the 7th one I choose this week. We could have just done the normal 5, but yeah, this one tied exact with Dota 2, so I kind of thought, well, we'll show it somehow, and then I could not get it to run on Steam Deck in the big picture mode. So you had to jump out, connected via desktop. And we're still not connected. I think we've got 3 though, right? No, we don't. I think those are just challenges up in the left-hand corner. It'd be nice if I could just go run around. Operators, customization, event, store. Well, what I would tell you is we could be having an issue connecting with Starlink. So that's why it's taking this long. Again, I don't want to press my luck with the stream. We know it starts up. We know it gets past the anti-cheat. Now it's just how long does it take to find a match, right, in that sense. But I wasn't going to show it anyhow, or I wasn't going to show it originally because it doesn't work off of big picture mode, but we might as well have jumped in just to see if we could start up, get past a certain point, which we were able to. I just wish we could jump into a match, but I think it's going to give us some grief getting into a match with my internet. There's another character. But yeah, I can't go in and do anything to just do like a tutorial. It's not there. So, it did, like I said, it did get past the anti-cheat, which is the biggest thing. I will go in and do a real view video of it when I'm not streaming, so you can see it running online, because that's essentially the thing that you want to do with Warzone. There is no that's why there's not a tutorial like that. There's no just you're going to be playing just whatever, right? You're just going to be playing the game, and that's that. You'll be able to connect on, or there wouldn't be any tutorial. You'd just be able to go in, start jumping online and playing in matches. So let's get out of here. We are in big picture mode, so I have to close it down a different way. Hopefully that did it. Hopefully it's not going to give me a fit. Just trying to close the thing. There we go. Good. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to close out EA because we don't need this today. We'll jump back over to big picture mode, and we'll take a look at the rest of the games for this one. So, while we're waiting the Legion Go to get started, we'll go over to the Steam Deck. We will go in and let's go ahead and grab Helldivers and run with that. Take a look at this one. So many people probably seen Helldivers 2. It's all over the place. It's done very well. It's more of a third person perspective. Here, it's more along the lines of like a top-down view, think Diablo-esque style game mechanic. But we'll go in and take a look at this one as well. We do have a couple big things, well, bigger things for the channel coming up. I'm going to start
Super Earth.
I've got 3 things that we're going to do. I've got videos already, so there's going to be a sister channel going up hopefully this week that's going to be called Factor Retro. or Retro Factor, sorry. And that's going to be a separate channel. It's not going to invade the content on Factor of Games, but you're going to be able to play or see physical versions of games, like physical versions of PlayStation games, kind of what they look like, all of that, running on a device that is, you know, from that era, and then being able to take a look at how that compares to emulation on the Steam Deck. So that's one channel going up this, you know, here shortly this week or next week or whenever it is. Then we've got, I am going to add in memberships, or yeah, I guess it would be memberships that you can join in that will, you know, obviously benefit the stream. Everything I make on the stream usually goes right back into the stream. It might be a little bit different here in the near future until the bills and all that stuff are figured out with the sudden change of employment status, but hopefully we'll get back to that. Lots of developers have been really supportive of the channel. They give a lot of keys that I can go ahead and start running with, so I don't have to buy them out of my pocket, but there are still considerable amounts that I normally would, and usually I use that ad revenue that YouTube gives to do that. So that'll be the kind of the second thing will be the membership. It'll be, you know, kind of unique in its own way. Hopefully it's going to have like enough value there for folks to support, which would be greatly appreciated to keep, you know, kind of going at the same clip of new game releases and stuff like that on the Steam Deck. Regardless, we'll be putting as much as it can. I'll be putting as much as I can into the channel from the ad revenue and stuff like that, but hopefully this will just open up a little bit different angle for folks that, you know, do appreciate seeing the games run. You know, there's at least 30 games that go up every month. Yeah. Sometimes, well, now that I don't have the day job, they'll be going up even not more often, so we'll go back to maybe that 2 a day. Could possibly, well, what I would say is you get 2 a day in terms of videos, and you get one post for the daily poll for the games to show on this week's show. So most likely that'll be, I think you get 3 notifications within the system, like push notifications. And if I was to put up 2 videos and a post every day, that'd be all 3 notifications to the subscriber base. So that's kind of where, if you're trying to max it out, that's probably going to be where you're stopping. Oh, you can see there's 2 of me. So this happens with the Steam Deck. It's kind of funny in that way. We're like a chorus line. It happens because it sees 2 controllers. It sees the one in my hand, the 8-bit dough, and then it sees the one that's on the device right now, like built into it. There is a way to kind of disable the one that's built into it so you wouldn't have that. I'm not too worried about it right now, but just know that you can disable like the ability for it to recognize that there's 2 devices and they're doing the exact same moves. You can actually get rid of that feature. You can just shut down the controller that's built on the device, and that'll stop it. And have it enabled so that whenever you go somewhere and you want to be able to play on the Steam Deck, you just re-enable that controller for that game. It's not every game. It's a game-by-game scenario, or game-by-game. What would you say? Like game-by-game process, right? To determine if it does that. Can we bypass the robot sneezing or whatever he was doing? Of course not. Okay, there we go. So kind of the same storyline as what we were getting before. You've got Super Earth, which in Helldivers 2, you're still, you know, basically trying to salvage in a way. Let's go over here to this region. And we just need to find a spot to land. There we go. So this robot likes to talk a lot. Either city or either planet. That one's unlocked. The battle cruisers. I don't know what they call them, but the cruise ship cruisers that you're on in Helldivers 2 are represented here. Very similar. You're kind of like landing, or you're coming into orbit, like over the planet, and then you just drop into missions, and then you get a chance to run your character. So you can see this is kind of similar. You've even got the Hellpod tools. That guy, I'll just send him down that one. Again, we're playing with 2 because it's recognizing 2 controllers. It won't do that on the Legion Go. Only Steam Deck does that. Why? Who knows? Well, I know why. I just went through it. But why it doesn't automatically determine that you've got the same character mapped or basically carbon copied on both controllers, I don't know. But we get to pretend like we're playing with 2 people. So they'll drop you down to the planet. You're going to be fighting probably bugs this time. But you're in this top-down 2/3 perspective, something like that. Yeah, we just kind of, we move in unison. Weapons. Let's see. Where's I'm probably sitting over top of the map. Let's just see. Nope. Not sitting over top of the map. I thought we might be. Oh god, I'm too close. I threw the grenade and almost blew myself up. Yeah, I'm not sitting over top of the map, so I'll come back on. You never quite know. I've done that before where I just basically sat in front of it. So right stick allows me to target. It's like a light show and a dance. Like a ballerina. There we go. I'm hoping we'll find some enemies before long, so we can actually show some combat. There is no way to zoom in on the characters that I know of. So realistically, in some of these cases, you can usually get some, I don't know, like extra stuff, right? That you can use on the enemies, things like that. I'm pretty sure you can choose your weapons and everything like that on in the second Helldivers 2. But here, I think it's almost identical, but you're just in this 2/3 perspective. But I can't find anything to shoot or to go after. Maybe I just dropped into like some random far off spot. I don't know. It's seeing my keyboard. That's why it's showing press E to join. So we could add one more character in. Oh, I thought I'd find somebody already. Nothing. It is a lonely planet here. I mean, pretty much when you start Helldivers 2, you're just being attacked almost instantly once you walk into the area. So I was kind of trying to find areas with things in them. Do we have a map at all? Oh, wait, we did. How did I bring that up? There it is. But I'm not seeing really anything, but we'll go across. Oh, what happened? Oh, did I shoot the other guy? I must have. I don't know what's going on with that other dude. I didn't. You have friendly fire in the other game. Why am I crawling to? How do I get up? There we go. Can I shoot him? Okay. All right. Maybe we don't. Maybe we can go ahead and play without him right now. Get lucky enough. Let's see. Oh, we got a ways to go though. And and it's kind of annoying. Things like ringing like a phone at the bottom. I don't know why. Well, I know why. It's to bring that guy back, but there's no way I'm going to be able to stop it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Finally. So it's not bugs, it's the mix. God, stand up. Okay, good shot there. Reloading. There we go. Now we got it. And we're capturing. Similar to the latest one. I don't know how long I've owned this game, but I barely ever played it. Again, it was on the PlayStation 4, I think. If I'm not mistaken, it was... Oh, they shot me. I'm dead. Okay. Can I jump in? Request reinforcements? Or did I have to do it with the other guy because we were playing two? We were. Okay, so about 60 frames per second. I mean, that's really, it's not too demanding. So let's jump in to the Legion Go here. And let's give it a try. So Legion Go. Helldivers. Again, big difference, 1080p versus 720p on the Steam Deck. The rest of it's going to be, you know, all the other settings, you're really only going to be able to get so much, so. I did like the video that they started out with. I mean, this one probably is decent, but the one that they did for the second one is really good. The intro video really makes a lot of... It's humorous. I don't know, just in general, interesting. So, let's see. 1080p. Brightness. Shadow quality is on high. Yeah, that's about it. So, let's see what we can do on this one. Hopefully it doesn't take us as long. Has anybody... And I don't know, we're not going to do spoilers, but has anybody watched Fallout on Amazon Prime Video? Pretty interesting show. I was super happy about that. I've watched one episode so far, the first one, my wife and I, and then we'll do mission 1 again. And then probably gonna, I don't know, we were thinking about trying to do 2 episodes a day, but with me being out here trying to get stuff done on the weekend because of, like, you know, everything's transitioning to running YouTube full-time and running stuff out of my office here. I need to kind of get everything prepped while I'm still trying to close down the job, giving them like the 2 weeks notice, stuff like that, right? Mission commencing. It just it's a lot of stuff to do all at one time, and I didn't know where I was going to get the time to kind of get everything caught up, because I've got to record videos, I've got to record gameplay, I've got to plan like a new streaming schedule, get that back out in the mix, right? This show's been going on. So this is the 15th episode of the Weekly Factor. It started the first week in January, and it's been really fun to do. A lot of the views come from just normally like how the channel operates. If you haven't seen that, or if you're just new to the channel, it mainly is focused on showcasing games running with a camera up here directly pointing at the actual device and running the game on the device. So getting kind of performance and all that of the device itself. Here on Factor Games, we show them when they're connected to a capture card, right? In that sense. I think there's enemies over this way. The capture card captures at either 1080p or 720p, which we talked about. And, you know, you see the analytic data on the performance, but you really don't see it what it looks like on the actual screen of the device. The real view videos are what you'll see those on, and I've done about 1,200 of those, I think, something like that. Considerable amount, right, over the past year and a half, something like that. And there is a lot of, so we want to go back this way. There's a lot of time invested in those videos, and I'll be back to doing that full time, so there'll be even more, but hopefully that'll help bring the channel some more viewers. I mean, we always get a lot of viewers a lot of new viewers during the Steam sales, things like that, which is really nice. The summer one will be coming up here in, I guess a month. Well, what is it? It's mid-April, so like probably about 2 months. We're getting close to like the Steam summer sale, which always brings in a lot of viewers. Dr. Chungus, how are you? The new System Shock update is nice. Can't wait for the Fallout 4. Yeah, we were talking about that. You'd asked about that. I will be on your 42nd birthday. God, you're so young. Yeah, we were talking about it on... Oh, I'm out of ammo. On one of the comments, I think you were asking. So, yes. I agree with you. We will be doing the Fallout 4 update as well. Just checking it out on devices, seeing how it runs. Pretty excited myself. It's been a while. Especially, did you watch the Fallout show on Amazon Prime? Have you checked that out yet? Okay, I'm kind of screwed here. I don't have any weapons. Grab some samples. I have no other weapon? I thought I did. Oh, God. Oh, and I dove down on the ground. We're not getting any frames per second. Why is that? Hold on. Oh, I can't pause. I know why. I just got to get away from these guys. We are running an exclusive... We're not an exclusive full screen. Yeah, half so far. Awesome. Yeah, no spoilers on my end here. I'm not going to give any. But I have only seen the first episode, which I was pretty happy with. I thought it was excellent. Let me go in here. Hopefully they won't follow too fast. Oh, we are in full screen. Why isn't... Try this. Maybe it'll... I mean, we're running at 60 frames per second. There's no doubt about that. I have no ammo. I have nothing. I have nothing that I can call down either, or anything like that, right? I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely... I don't know why it's not showing the... let me see if I can run further away, and we'll put it in windowed mode. Why it's not showing any actual frames per second. The third season of Resident Alien. Never watched it. I've never watched Resident Alien. Let's go here. Let's go options. Let's go windowed. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know what's up, why it's not... This is a problem. Well, not a problem, but... Oh, it's showing it down on the bottom. That's right. That's why I always have, like, the 60... If you dig down on the bottom left, that's the Steam frames per second. For some reason, whatever it is, I don't know. There's this weird thing on the Legion Go where it has issues with frames per second being captured. It did. I don't know if it does now, but there was just a BIOS update. Whenever you're not in full screen, it used to be that you couldn't capture the FPS counter for whatever reason. Okay, we were able to get it. For whatever the reason that is. They've done a BIOS update. It was working. They did another BIOS update over the weekend, and now it doesn't work here. So I don't know if that's connected directly to that old problem. I've tried full screen, Windows, borderless, and windowed. Neither one is working here. If you like Alien to Dick, you probably will like it. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen the other one either. I don't know what it is. trying to see, like, what is that? Alien Tuduk. All right, Dr. Chungus, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. And we'll probably chit-chat on the performance of Fallout 4 on the 25th. All right, let's get out of here. I think we've seen it's been running 60 frames per second. There's no issue there. The game, I don't know if the game's really all that active in terms of like people that play it. You know, obviously with the new one, it's kind of really been showcasing well, and a lot of people are playing that one, so might have killed off the support for this. Do you have the button press thing? You do. But, oh, I got more guys. Let's go see if they'll follow me. I'm just shooting that tree. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Maybe we can get them to kind of run around here, follow me this way, and then we can run back. Because it's like one of those things you got to push like left, right, up, down. Very similar to, well, it's the exact same thing that they have on Helldivers 2 to call your rescue ship, and then you got to kind of hang out for a period of time. There's more of those things. They're all around, and I don't think I'll be able to do it, but we'll try. So right, left, right, left. Okay, shuttle's arriving in 20 seconds. Hey, they're killing their own guys. Oh no, 1 minute and 23. Well, we're not going to wait that long, but we'll probably get a bunch of enemies in here, and like I said, 60 frames. We haven't even really moved from that at 1080p. We could probably be playing at 2560 by 1600 and be just fine as well. But yeah, we've got more and more enemies on the screen. I just don't have any weapons. And I didn't find... Oh, I'm covering the supply thing, am I? What did it say? You're out of ammunition, use the supply stratagem. Oh, and you've got to... I've got to run over here. I forgot about this. And I got to do this. So down, up, down, up. Right. Oh, I died. I'll land again. There we go. Yeah, we got 28 seconds. We'll go ahead and wait until we can get off here. Let's grab this thing. There we go. I forgot that's how you had to call down everything. That's all right. We'll get off the planet here in a second. We'll just keep wiping these guys out. Oh, that one's ended. Come on. Oh my god, the reload. It is so slow. There we go. Oh, yep, land on top of them. Land on them. Let me on. There we go. Irrelevant how easy it was to do that. We're just trying to show it happening. Okay, let's jump to our next game. We were able to kind of succeed. And we'll do... Well, I know Dr. Chungus was talking about the System Shock update. That's the new thing. So did we cover over... So we've done that. We took a look at that on here. Call of Duty. We will do Callisto Protocol next, and then we'll do System Shock at the end. So let's do that on the Steam Deck right now. And let's fire up Callisto Protocol. Now this, you don't have to do anything special. No proton or anything like that needs to be used. But this one is a little bit of a, you know, systems performance hog, right? In that sense. Not that it tries to be. It's just, it's a game that takes a little bit more to run. And you're not probably going to get 60 frames per second on this. I think you'll probably get more in like the 30-ish frames, right, on both devices. Probably if you drop the Legion Go down to like 1280 by 720, you'd get better performance, maybe 40s, 50s. But with the Steam Deck, you're probably going to get 30s, right, in this one. And it does have a setting for the Steam Deck, kind of like The Witcher does, Witcher 3, where you just go in, it's a preset or Cyberpunk, you choose Steam Deck, and that kind of sets it at like the best performance mode that you can get. So we go down to options, we'll take a look. There's graphics. So what we can do is just go straight down to Steam Deck and apply that. So this is probably the best that it can do. Again, limiting frame rate down to 30. That's your adjustments there. Your lighting is all low. Some space reflections enabled, but then no physical refraction. Effects are all enabled. Advanced. So upscaling is the AMD FSR2, but on performance, there's one more setting you can go, which is like ultra performance, I believe. Or maybe not. You can only do performance on this one. And then medium on the rest of it. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. And we'll start from my save point, which is further into the game. Not 100% how far I am. 50% there? Maybe. I don't know. But we're in definitely like darker territory. There's not a lot of lighting. I thought I had. So I've got my electric beating stick. There's some lights on my gun. Man, is that dark. Oof. In certain spots, it gets really dark. Lock. So I must be going this way. Can I get in here? I thought I would. No, I guess not. Okay. Where else can we go? So that's all locked. How did I get here? I don't even know where I'm at right now. I just jumped into a save. I have no idea what's going on. Why can't I get through this area? Oh, I thought I'd duck down and I'd be able to move through here. I don't know what's going on. I might have to choose a different save point because... Oh, no. I thought it said locked. My guy was covering the locked part. Or unlocked. The tentacles. Okay. I want to say that I was having a tough time getting past this point. These guys can be a little tough. Oh. Well, maybe not. Okay, where's my stim pack? Do I have one? God, it's so... I hadn't used this in such a long time. There it was. Maybe I don't have... Battery pack, health injector. There we go. It's been a while since I played this game. There we go. It's your Dead Space kind of clone. I think it's from the original team that did Dead Space. Or some of the original team. But then I heard that obviously Dead Space from EA came out, the remake, but then they're not going to make another one. Which is so weird. Like, that was such a good... Dead Space remake was really amazing. I don't know why they just wouldn't keep going with it. I have no idea. Such a shame. It's like it came back from the dead, no pun intended, and then it's dead again. And it only came back because of this game, it seemed like. Oh man, it's so dark in here. Well, if I'm not mistaken, it probably is like kicking on HDR, and we can't really... On the stream, we're not able to really capture HDR correctly. It takes a special... it doesn't take anything special, but what it is, it takes HEVC 265, I think is what it takes. Oh, I died. Okay, let's go back in. But we're about 30 frames per second. But it needs like a certain codec to capture truly at HDR levels. So that's what we're facing. We're not able to see that. And that's why it's probably so dark, but I can check that. If we go in here, oh, I'm on top of it. Yeah, you can see it's in HDR mode right now up there, where it says brightness at the top right. It says HDR, so the game is playing. It's in HDR, but we're not able to capture it in this setup in HDR, so that's why it looks really dark. We could potentially raise the... We might be able to. If we go into here, raise the brightness a little bit. A lot. And that makes it a little better, not massive. There's still some dark areas in this game. Even with HDR running and all that stuff that you need, right? I would love to not have to fight these guys. Okay, blow his foot off. I like this electric stick thing that I'm beating with, but transform again. Oh no, no. Oh. I don't know if I can beat him without that or not. There we go. Ooh. I will say it is a tough game to play. Unlike your tough difficulty, right? It's not a simple game. It's not... I mean, Dead Space wasn't either. There's some tough points in it, but this one... There's this other little piece of finesse that you're dealing with. So we're about 30 frames per second is what it's been running. Oh god. More enemies. Great. I saw more enemies. Where'd they go? Here they are. Oh, jeez. Didn't even have a chance to... There. Oh, it's a boss or something. No, it's not. That was too easy. Let me guess. We're going to be fighting them left and right, aren't we? Yep. Oh. Yeah, I mean, 30 frames per second. Could you toy around with it? I mean, I don't mind playing at 30, especially like for a game that looks good. Oh, jeez. That is a newer game. I mean, Crafton did a lot of work on this one. But, I'd prefer to play at 60 like everybody else. I'm out of weapons. Okay, let's go ahead and end it here. We will jump over to the Legion Go and give it a try. Oops, I went too far. I was just going to ultimately end up dying there, but we saw about 30 frames per second. We will do the same thing on the Legion Go here and see what we can get. So there it is. Again, you don't have to, it's just a Windows device, so you don't have to worry about like Proton or anything like that. Compatibility is normally just fine. Sometimes you got to get out of big picture mode to play a game like we had to do for Call of Duty Warzone, but in general sense, it's fine. Works just good. Or it works just as well as like a regular PC. All right. So we'll get this done. What time are we looking at? 9. So normally the stream ends at 9, but because of that update on Streamlabs, we couldn't start until 7:30. So we're not gonna be that long. I think we'll be able to get through System Shock and then show a little bit of the Devil Within Satgut, and then we'll call it a good night. But don't be surprised. I know tomorrow's going to be a little bit busy. I've got to go maybe do some stuff for potential client. And I've got to go do a little bit of work around the house. But then should be able to maybe even do a stream tomorrow night and do some toying around with like the, you know, the general settings, like streaming at 1080p instead of 720p and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll stream everywhere. Maybe just YouTube, maybe just Twitch, maybe the two of those. Probably not on X and LinkedIn, or what's the other one? Facebook, I think. Probably not any of those. So if you haven't, jump over to YouTube, just Factor of Games over there, or on Twitch, Factor of Games, and follow or subscribe. Because like I said, hopefully we'll be doing a little bit more. So there's no HDR, or I will be doing a lot more, but hopefully we'll be able to have more streams that everybody jumps into. So we only got, because it's not a Steam Deck, we've only got low as the lowest option. Then you got medium, high, and ultra. We're going to go with low. There is no HDR because it doesn't support HDR. We're going to do 1080p. So everything's on medium. Everything else is disabled, like ray tracing and stuff like that. We'll disable motion blur. And we have it on performance for FSR2. So let's go ahead and apply all of that. Oh, no, we want to drop it to low. Now apply it. Okay. And it'll probably be at that 30 frames per second is where we're going to be sitting at, but we'll give it a test. Now, you can see how bright it is without HDR. HDR, if it's not on an HDR setting, like the screen you're looking at, is super dark. And I have issues trying to turn HDR off on the Steam Deck once it kicks in. It doesn't always, like, it kind of forces it, right? If the game supports it, it'll force it on because it's thinking like, hey, you're always playing on your device, which has a nice screen that'll support HDR. That's not always the case, but yeah, this is like the probably a little bit brighter than bright option. Whoops. Because I did adjust it and it might have carried that stuff over, but let's take a look. Brightness adjustment. We'll drop it down a little bit, but we do want it a little bit brighter. But yeah, this is probably more normal. Cool. It does break up some audio here and there. I noticed that. I don't know if that's the device itself. It's not the same issue we were having. But it does clip the audio, it sounds like. I can't see the settings either. Oh, God, let me out of here. Some of these enemies are so tough sometimes. Did we get both of them? Nope. Got him that time. Is the audio clipping? I'm just going to take a look here real fast. Got to plug my mouse in. Okay. Yeah, it seemed like super loud. No. It's something to do with the with the audio card on the Legion Go. That's my guess. Because the stream hasn't made any kind of noise or anything like that, like it used to. Like I cleared all that up with with updating the audio and the BIOS and all that stuff. It's been running really good, but yeah, for some reason it was doing something with this, so I don't know what that is. Oops, I need to see if I have any health. Just give me one sec here. Which I probably don't. I do not. It's always so tough when you have no health at all. But for some reason, again, we're not counting, it's not counting the FSR in the set, or the FSR, the FPS in the settings above, but we're getting it down in the bottom left-hand corner. And it's actually been running pretty good, like 60 frames per second, a little bit more. Let's see if we can adjust this. Oh, you might not be able to adjust it anymore. So yeah, you're getting definitely good frames per second on low with this game. You might be able to bump it up to medium settings and still get close to 60. I don't know if you'd lock it in at 60. But right now, as it's going, it does seem like it's kind of locked into 60. Up 50, 35. That was just where an area loaded. I've been through here before, though. I remember that. Then we're back up to 80. I think it's just when the areas load, maybe you're going to run into that. But you might be able to keep it at 60 on this device. Steam Deck, a little bit different story. I don't know. Sometimes you just get better results. I've seen it to where we've had like really bad performance on the Legion Go, and the Steam Deck does amazing for certain games. So let's see if we can't get into this thing. Can we get in here? That's unlocked. Now we're in the 60s again, 80s. Yeah, my dude is just a little beat up here with no health. So, but yeah, I think we're seeing pretty good results here. Now this, when I film for the Legion Go, it's always set on performance mode. So just bear that in mind. You always have to have it kind of in performance mode to get this, which means if you're playing, you know, just sitting at your couch, not plugged into a power source or anything like that, then you've got to have it on like 30 frames per second. Can I open this? Yep. And if you've got it, or wait, no, sorry, not 30 frames per second. You've got to have it on 30 watts, and then you will get the performance that I'm getting here. But you do get a little boost, I think, even beyond that if you're plugged into a power supply, which is what we're doing now, to be able to, you know, show the game when it's being captured by a card, or being like capture card. Okay. Yeah, I mean, pretty good performance for this device. Even with all the settings on low and all that, looks really good. So let's just call it that. The Legion Go. If I kept score, the Legion Go would be the winner here. But let's jump over to System Shock next. Let's check out their new update, which I believe does, as Dr. Chungus had said earlier, does help the performance out. So let's jump over and check it out on the Steam Deck. There it is. Now, I'm just going straight in, not adjusting any of the protons or anything like that. We'll see if it launches. Pretty sure it's going to be fine. I had played the game a long time ago, but I don't think I ever did like a real view video on it. And I want to say it might have been the demo is what I played. So I've never played this game. I didn't have enough time because of the travel and everything this week. And it just randomly ended up being on sale. So I threw it into one of the daily polls. So we'll see how it runs. Now, if you don't want to go buy it, there is a demo you can go grab to see how performance is. But remember, if you buy on Steam and you don't like it, you can always go get your money back. Let's see. So everything's set to medium. Display is 720. Turned off motion sync. Yeah. Let's go ahead. So how do we want this? So puzzle, cyber, mission. These are bonuses, I think, right? It can be male, female. Combat. Let's do combat. We'll bounce combat up to 3. Mission will go down to 1. Cyber we'll leave at 2. Puzzle will go to 3. Let's take a look. Now this is based off the original System Shock, so it's a remaster. I guess this is really more of a remake, in my opinion. It might be a remaster, though. A little bit different than most remasters. But this is kind of what gave inspiration to BioShock. Pretty warm, right? 28 degrees Celsius. That's pretty warm. I don't know the conversion, but I would guess that's probably really warm, right? What is the conversion for that? While we're waiting for it to play through to get us to a point where we can start playing. 28 Celsius B. I've never really been great at conversion, being at the grew up in the States, so it never really mattered to me. 28 Celsius to Fahrenheit is 82.4 degrees Fahrenheit, so not too bad. Is this a cutscene? No, we already went through the cutscene. Is this a loading screen? Oh no, it's me. It is me. So there's 55, 53. Yeah, it looks really good. No mirror. What? Toilets. Oh, how do we get out of here? There we go. Yeah, at least in the room, we're in the 50s, bounces up to the 60s here and there. Is that a... Oh, I thought that was a Nintendo 64 controller. Can we get out? Nope. Okay, I don't know. The game brick. It's funny. How do we get out of here? It's been a long time since I played System Shock. Too long. Okay. Login succeeded. Continue. There we go. They work from home. Remote access. Boy, with this streaming schedule being at night and not really getting time to do anything other than work on stuff for editing and that stuff, I need dinner. Uh-oh. That was fast.
Turn around! Now!
Ooh. Being a tough guy. We'll do a little bit more here, and then we'll jump over to the Legion Go. So, I mean, we're not, like, It's not pressing the Steam Deck to the limit, but we'll see. Can we skip this? Oh, we can skip it. I thought I couldn't. And would we have this on medium? I think it was all on medium. So medium's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Oh God, look at these screens. This has to be from the original game. Ugh. Barely see what we're looking at. Okay. All right, let's see here. So if we go into options, graphics, I think if we were to go up to high on everything, we would probably be, yeah, just high, not ultra or anything like that. Probably going to be a little bit less than 60. Yeah. Not too much, though. Give me the pipe. Go. Can we get into a fight early? I think if we go this way. Door's locked. Find a key card, okay. Where was it? Neuralink. We don't have a key card. And we're just trapped in this room then. Let's see. Maybe there was one down here. There we go. Pip-Boy. What's this thing? Oh, you just plug it in your head. And there's the key card.
Employ 2-4601. I'm Rebecca Lansing.
All right. Yeah, I mean, at least it's a lot of corridors. We're getting 60 frames per second right now. I think we'd continue to get 60 for a good bit, but we could always like move from high down to medium. But yeah, they, as Dr. Chungus was saying, they did say there was some improvements on performance, I think, for that version 1.2 or something like that. So it does look pretty good. So let's do this. Let's jump over and check out the Legion Go. So I gotta log out really fast. Let's see if we can save the game. Maybe it'll save over so we can start there. Create, save. Let's exit. And then we gotta do it, give it like a minute so it can update. If it's gonna use the Steam. Maybe it did. I don't know. Let's see. We'll jump over. It's going to use the Steam save system. So there's System Shock. Yeah, and we've got, a few minutes. So we'll try it, see how it looks, and we'll do the outro and all that stuff with the Devil Within Sagat game running in the background like we always do. I've got a nice little foot pedal under here that mutes when I got a cough or sneeze or something like that. I can just use my... Press it back on. I love that thing. I don't know why it's $70, $80. Doesn't seem like it's too complex, but it's pretty expensive. So let's move all of this stuff up to high. Again, we're playing on high at 1080p on this device. So it's a little bit more than just the other one, but it should be able to handle it. More than the Steam Deck. So good. We might be able to start right where we left off. Yep. So now we're at 1080p. So you get that little bump in fidelity. Yeah, probably have to restart the device to get the actual like FPS counter to work, but you can see it down in the left-hand corner from the Steam FPS counter. It's 60 frames per second right now. So running very nice. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Can we get in here? No, I must not have the card. Can we get in that one? Nope. Well, oh, here we go. Dude's got a card, doesn't he? No. I need a card. Just checking to see if he was alive. Oh, maybe it's this. Or is this for us? Oh, it is. We can heal. Nice. Okay, so with this kind of performance, I am pretty happy with this. Yeah, when I travel, like I was telling a story earlier that I'd lost my VR headset, and I'm luckily going to get it back. When I travel, I tend to travel with this device, with the Legion Go anymore. Just for the fact that I can test out other games than just what will work on the Steam Deck. In terms of like being able to check and see if it'll run the latest anti-cheat or whatever it is that it needs to run the game. Oh, here was a card thing. Really? So the code's required. What code, though? I don't think we really have time to study it and determine what the stuff is. Nothing up there. There was like a little... What is this stuff here? Oh, wait. No code in here. Employee... Well, there's a 24061. I don't hear the audio. Oh, now I do. That's nice. It'd be nice to find my reticle, though. You can see that moving. I don't know why that moved like off the screen. Don't know what that's about. Maybe it's something to do with the trackpad on this device being weird. See how it wants to move? It wants to jump. I'm not 100% sure what's causing that. I could be playing with the mouse and keyboard here. And it could also be a mouse and keyboard issue because the mouse isn't doing that. So it might be because it's connected as well. You can do either controller or mouse, but I had the mouse connected as well. So it could be because of that. I'm not 100% sure why that reticle was like disappearing off the side of the... Oh. Yeah, I don't have this code thing. That gave me extra power. Kind of wasted it without any enemies around. Yeah, I don't know right now where the code is, but that's okay. Performance-wise, it's on high. You're getting the same performance, but at 1080p on the Legion Go. So, enjoy that. It's a nice experience, and like I said, this... Oh, wow, look at that. I'm seeing stuff. Is it leading me to something? Huh. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to follow it over here. It's going to put the code in. Oh, no. Another one of these things. Well, I don't know the code. And we need to jump over to the other game. So let's jump over to the Devil Within Satgut. And we will call this one good. Like I said, runs just fine. Gonna be good, nice and solid at 60 at 1080p. So let's take a look as we close out the stream. I do appreciate everybody for watching on any of the channels that you're checking it out on. Thank you again. I hope you enjoyed a little bit, got some useful information out of this, saw some games running on the Steam Deck that you didn't maybe know would run potentially. Let me get back on here. So, or on the Legion Go. So while we have the Legion Go, let's go ahead and jump in and do the Devil Within Satgut. This is a game that's just coming out. I think it just released into, I'll just use the mouse right now, into April 9th. So it just released full release on April 9th. Or is it still early? It's early access. Sorry, that was my mistake. It launched into early access. When I originally had the game, it was more like a beta. It wasn't even in early access. So this was 2 months ago or more. So the developer sent over a new key whenever they got it out of beta. And I wanted to just show it. I'm going to do an actual like follow-up real view video for it on both the Steam Deck Oled and the Legion Go. So we'll get a chance to see it on both. It's saying it's out of range, which means I would have to do some adjustments here. Let's do this. I am going to switch over to the Steam Deck. We'll run it on the Steam Deck. It's probably in some mode. Well, it's not in a weird mode, but I mean, it's in a mode where I would have to do some extra work to get it to jump over to the, let me end the game, to get it to jump over to supporting the 720p stream or video feed from the Legion Go. So let's just try it on the Steam Deck if it'll work on there at 720p. It's probably a setting it's holding from the Steam Deck, because when I'm doing the bouncing back and forth, I do the testing, kind of whatever device that I tested last can be sometimes what the Steam Deck or the Legion Go picks up on. And when the Legion Go picks up on it at 720p, it kind of screws up the screen and the capture device. So you got to go in, you got to change it to 1080p again, and it can be a hassle. But we'll check it on the Steam Deck, which is probably what most people come here to see. If I was to guess, I'd probably say the audience for Steam Deck stuff out of 10,000 is probably like 8,000, and then 1,000 are interested in like the Legion Go or something like that. I don't know if that's 100% factual, but that's kind of what it looks like. But then I can have videos that do the exact same thing. It's the same game on both devices, and they can both be good videos. So I don't know. I've always thought, though, it's a much smaller crowd for the Legion Go or the ROG Ally or whatever, and that the Steam Deck's a little bit more of a audience that's considerable size out of the 10,000 whatever we got here now. Sorry, I thought I heard somebody behind. Let's see. So medium, motion blur's off. Everything else set to medium, 1280 by 720. It's got a good soundtrack. Let's go with that. But do appreciate everybody for hanging out here. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, I'll say it one more time. Jump over to YouTube. Just, what does it do? youtube.com/@FactorOfGames. It's in the links below in the descriptions. It's go to the link tree, you'll find it. But if you just put in Factor of Games in the search bar on YouTube, it'll take you to the channel. Subscribe. You'll see tons of Steam Deck stuff there. And if you subscribe and you check that bell, whenever I put up the daily poll, which is every morning, 6 a.m., Monday through Friday, Pacific time, you get to choose what games go into this show on Saturday. which is nice. You don't have to be a member, nothing like that. It's just everybody can vote on it. And I mean, voting, some cases, is into the hundreds. You know, some people really get into it. They want to see their game. And they get in there and vote early, and more people do throughout the day. Sometimes it can be lower. If it's indie games, it's usually a little bit lower. But ultimately, that just means whatever game you want probably has a better chance of actually being the one picked for the day by the voting audience. And then at that point, I take each of those days, so 5 games, win for 5 days, and then we show those here every Saturday. And then I pick one, like I did with this game, to kind of showcase. But Devil Within Sad God, it's kind of like Dead Space, or sorry, not Dead Space, Dead Cells. In a way, not 100%, but it's like a side-scrolling platformer with action. So we got dodge. It's a sword-wielding samurai. Not sure if I can. No, can't. Fast forward. Sweet. There we go. But yeah, it runs pretty good. This is on the Steam Deck. This is running, what medium settings, and we're right at about 60 frames per second, somewhere like that. Not locked. It's bouncing between 50s and 60, but overall, I think it's fine for this type of game. Again, you could lock it at 40. Probably would never even have an opportunity to drop below 40. So if you locked it at 40, you would lose that. You would get rid of those like frame rate spikes that you get here and there, where it jumps from like a noticeable 60 down to like 50 or something like that, right? So let's see. I guess we're jumping all the way down. I wasn't quite sure if I had a special power. You just kind of like do a spin and jump up. I'm going to skip through this. I know. It's kind of crappy, but we want to get kind of enough that we can show. There we go. And try to, I don't know, give you some idea of what it'll perform like. But yeah, this game, again, not a major cost to get into the game. I think it's less than $19.99. It's like $17.99. I think that's the price. And it's pretty good. I don't know. Plays well on here. We'll skip again. I think we're coming up to a bigger event. It almost has like this feel of the end of Devil May Cry 5. I don't know, when they were in those weird like planes, like they weren't on Earth any longer. They were in some kind of like interesting different area. Like almost hell. I don't know. It's been a while since I played Devil May Cry 5, but I do remember it kind of reminded me of this. Especially with like swords and, yeah, there's some projectiles and stuff like that, but it's like non-human enemies that you're fighting. So you get to choose which kind of parries and stuff like that you want to do. But I think that'll be pretty good. I think we've kind of covered everything for tonight. Do appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you again, as always. This game, you can find the links below for any of the games. You can go check them out. And if you do buy one from Humble, then that supports the channel. I greatly appreciate it. But otherwise, thank you for watching. If you do watch the live streams, you don't get ads. But when it goes live here shortly as a video on demand, I will be tossing ads on there. And that's usually where we see a majority of the viewers. I don't know. So a lot of people are busy on the weekends. They don't get a chance to watch it during the live show. But we'll get more chances here shortly. Like I said, as this is a full-time gig now, I will have far more time to do videos and stuff like that and more live streams. So appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you again. And you guys have a great evening. We will talk next Saturday, but hopefully before then. Let me get out of here. Oh, you know what? I don't have my mouse plugged in. Almost made it a very nice exit or outro, but didn't quite work out that way. But thanks again, folks. Have a great weekend, and we will talk soon. Bye.